Now we'll explore the backstack and learn how to end an activity. The backstack is a historical record of the user's live activities. Android records the user's running activities in the backstack, automatically adding new activities to the backstack as the user starts them, and removing activities when the user touches the back button. Activities are stored in a stack to deliver last in, first out behavior. Touching the back button returns the user to the previous activity. There are a few reasons this navigation mechanism is a great starting point in exploring Android navigation. It's useful and relatively simple for developers. At the same time, it's powerful enough for the needs of many apps. It's also very familiar. Users already understand the pattern since the concept of go back appears in web browsers, file system UIs, etc. The activities in the backstack may span multiple apps. They're not restricted to a single app. If an app allows a user to navigate to activities defined in other apps, activities from both apps can exist in the backstack simultaneously. Let's look at some other examples of cross-app navigation in the standard Android apps. How about adding a new contact and launching the camera to take their picture, or messaging someone and jumping to the camera to take a snapshot of whatever you're doing? Or going from contact details to compose an email for that contact, or calling them as we just saw. Android pushes activity onto the backstack automatically when you start them. You generally do not need to interact with the backstack directly. Android manages it behind the scenes for you. The back button automatically pops the backstack and returns the user to the previous activity. That activity is removed from the backstack, and the action navigates the user to the newly exposed top activity in the stack. When the results of hitting the back button may not be obvious, you might need specific controls to guide the user. Let's say the user starts entering new contact details and decides to go back to the previous listing screen. What happens to the partially entered new contact details when the back button is pressed? Is it deleted or saved to a partially entered contact? A dedicated cancel button allows a user to know they're abandoning their changes. To handle this type of navigation, Activity also provides a finish method to programmatically end the current activity and return to the previous activity. The effect is similar to the back button. The current activity ends and is popped off the backstack. The user is navigated back to the newly exposed top activity on the stack.